welcome to our podcast. Now, as you may have seen, we've stacked both up back to back because we are relaunching the podcast. And I thought, you know what, we're going to give you 2 episodes for you to listen to over the weekend. Right, so we have Ben, who's back with us after a long hiatus, and we have our resident podcasting Javid. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey.
After you, Jabed. Going well. Going well. It's been a while since I've been since anyone's heard my voice, I guess. But yeah, back on the podcast. Roped in. I mean, willingly doing it.
No, you're back by choice, and we're happy to have your smooth, silky voice here. So I'm sure the audience is too.
Smooth, silky integrated MacBook microphone. Because
The finest.
I haven't set up my my nice mic, so apologies for that. But yeah, I'm back.
It sounds amazing though.
Does it?
Yeah, no, it sounds it does sound great. Right, we're gonna go straight into it, and I'm gonna go to Ben. Samsung S23 Ultra and its 200 megapixel camera. Your views on this?
I've seen a few comparisons recently by a few of the big tech YouTubers, and it wins out surprisingly to the iPhone, the flagship iPhone, the 14 Pro Max. It wins out in some aspects, which is surprising. I think no matter how good a camera looks from on an Android phone, I think the experience of using the camera app is never going to be better than an iPhone. That's my personal opinion. Just the fluidness I find every single time I use an Android phone and I'm taking a picture or taking a video. I not frequently, but I do come across how buggy it can be and janky, and it's kind of slow to react to changing lenses or that kind of thing. But yeah, the new S23 Ultra does win out in some places. I think the stabilization's better. I think I've seen someone mention that. I think it was Mr. Who's the Boss, good YouTuber. If you haven't seen him, he done a comparison. I think the stabilization wins out, but not seen much else other than the camera, to be honest.
Well, it's more or less the same phone. Javid was making weird squeak faces when he's saying about the camera being laggy. Why's that?
I've just never had any issues taking a picture.
You've never used an iPhone. That's why.
I have one in my hands right now. Fair enough, I've not used the camera all that much, but the experience of clicking a button or pushing a button, taking a picture, I've never had an issue. I don't know what changes you're making to the ISO on your camera app, but
I've never listen. I opened the camera app. I know a little bit about cameras and the right settings to use when taking a particular picture or video, but I'd never mess around that deep. There's a lot of settings on you can play around with on phone cameras these days, and I never play around with it. But every time I find myself using an Android, every time I'm taking a picture or video, not every time, but when I do use an Android from as my main phone, I find myself wishing I was just using the iPhone camera app. To be honest, I don't know.
Right, even against the Pixel.
Especially the Pixel. Especially Pixel phones. I've used multiple Pixels, and don't get me wrong, the picture I think comes out better. I think the post-processing on a Pixel is amazing. It's unbeatable. I don't think there's anything like it, I think. But usability of the camera app, I don't know. I always find a problem. I always find whether it's a Samsung, a Nothing phone, a Pixel, anything. There's always something about it. They always feel so heavy and bloated, the Android camera apps. I don't know. But every time I always, in my head, I always want to just go back to the Apple and camera app. It feels bulletproof. There's a lot of applications across Android and iOS that are like that, in my opinion. But that's another time. That's for another time.
Okay. Well, yeah. I see where you're coming from, but I think I don't know. I've also played with both, and I think the picture quality on a Samsung is just kind of wins. I think for me, I was looking at holiday pictures, and I was mentioning this to Javid with the last time. I just feel the quality is amazing with the right lighting, though.
Yeah.
but it'd be interesting to see how it's like in person at one point. But again, if you've got an S22, even an S21, I don't think you need to look at an upgrade. But anything older than that, then maybe look into it. Right, Jabid, Reddit, phishing attack. Like
Oh,
this is more and more of a thing, isn't it? Really?
yeah, a phishing attack on its employees. At least they said that no data has been compromised from it, so it sounds like they nipped it in the bud as soon as they realized. But it is crazy how 2023 is turning out to be the year of cyber attacks and phishing attacks in particular.
And it seems to be fairly simple ones again, like
Hmm.
receiving plausible sounding prompts and a website that mimics another website. I mean, people are really beginning to fall for this year, aren't they?
Yeah, do you think it's a, I don't know, lack of education, or it's just people getting complacent with the way they use the web, use their tech?
I think it could be complacency. Ben, what do you think?
I'm thinking if ChatGPT will let you create phishing prompts.
It does.
Amazing. That's good.
I think the
Using the power for evil. Okay. Mm. No, I was just deleting my Reddit history, so just in case.
Mm.
I don't know. There seems to be a lot of stories of it this year, especially, but it's always been a thing. I think they're just getting better and better. I don't think they're gonna stop getting better and better. I think on a daily basis, I get something, whether it comes through as an email, a text message. I get phishing attempts so frequently now.
Yep.
I'm numb to it, but it is definitely picking up. For the last couple of years, it's picked up phenomenally, for sure. The amount you get. I mean, it used to be a once in a blue moon kind of thing, but not for sure. Not anymore, for sure.
Yeah, I think it is getting specific. I get more and more rubbish that comes into my emails list these days. So creating more different rules and like just get rid of it,
Yep.
like whatever. Right, I'm going to talk about passwordless logins. One Password, a popular app for storing passwords, are going to avoid passwords and use pass keys instead, or physical tokens. It seems like a lot of organizations are finally wanting to get rid of passwords and go for biometrics and security keys. I mean, your views on this, guys? Not how you're not having to use a password.
I think I'm for it. Of course, it is going to be a big change for a lot of people, and depending on how it's implemented, we can all see how these kind of things can go south, especially when it's implemented poorly by companies.
I think it's the right step, especially considering people would use the same password, different variations of it for different sites. It's the right step for the majority, I think. But what I will say is that it opens like you kind of what you meant, you're referring to there, Javid. It opens a can of worms that I'm not technically inclined to go into. If that makes sense. It opens up a separate, like, a separate batch of issues with keys and authentication and all of this stuff that, again, I'm not too qualified to speak on. I understand the basics of it, but I think we could run into similar issues that we run into with plain text, just on a more higher, on a more technical scale.
Well, so you're saying someone spoofing your fingerprint or spoofing your security key or something like that is what you're concerned about?
No, not so much spoofing. Well, yeah, spoofing too, but don't get me wrong, it will deter a lot of attempts from hackers and whatnot. It would deter, but it would only encourage those people to become more technically inclined to try and you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I
It's
get
the
what
same
you're
thing on
saying.
a different level, right?
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, a user login with just plain text password and no two-factor authentication or anything like that, that's ridiculous. That should not be a thing in 2023. But
but it
it's
still is.
yeah, it
Still
is.
is. Yeah, I think we again, I guess it's down to education and it's down to get into people to understand why we need 2FA or why we need that. And I think we haven't even jumped that hurdle, and yet we're talking about another thing to bring in to this to like help with the whole security of it all. We just needed everybody to jump on the first phase, let alone introducing something else. But yeah, passwords, hacking, phishing, it's all a thing. 2023, he would have thought this would have been the year of all of this happening, as Javid said earlier. Right. So Amazon have got approval to deploy project. I can't even pronounce it. It's like Cooper or something, or Cooper.
Paper,
Um, I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. But anyway, they're sending out satellites in space that gives you broadband connection, very similar to Starlink. But now Amazon are on the game to provide internet over satellites. Now, I've played around with it. I've got a Starlink. It's good. Latency is horrible, but it gives you internet connection. What are your views about having internet in outer space? No cables, no nothing, just a dish.
Mm. Well, I hate being in space and not having internet. That's I hate
Yeah.
that.
God.
But no, I think it's good that it's competition. Don't get me wrong, it's coming from Amazon, the big bad boss. But it's coming from Amazon, so they have the money to invest in these kind of things. I think it's good competition in new areas like this, because it will only help out the consumer in the long run, right? Having the availability of all the different services, driving down prices of these services, if there's competition between them, I don't know. I think it's a good thing. I think it's cool.
Javid, your view about internet coming from space rather than
No,
from a phone line or fiber line?
I agree completely. It's great. If they could work on that latency, it would be a boon for everyone, especially gamers. But as it stands, helping out communities that would otherwise never be able to have a stable connection, it's great, even if it does come from the big bad wolves.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it'll be interesting. I mean, for me, it's a great backup. I think it works pretty well. Just obviously depends if there's a satellite going over. I think it all depends on where it also flows. So if you're not in an area where the satellite goes over, you're kind of screwed. But hey, still good, still good. So everybody has, well, people that have a Nintendo Switch, they have a Nintendo Switch, and obviously Nintendo made an announcement that you can play Game Boy and Game Boy Advantage games on the Switch today in that horrid green and black pixel.
We love it.
What do you mean? Horrid. That's my childhood right there.
Oh God.
Amazing.
Yeah, but listen. You've got a colored screen and all you're viewing is green and
But hold on.
black.
You said Game Boy Advance games. Game and Boy Advance
No,
were
game.
colored.
Yeah,
So-
that was only
yeah,
eight
they
colors,
start
but
with the
Game
Game
Boy
Boy.
and Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I
Mm.
mean, come on. I don't
I-
know, man. You've got a massive screen like that, OLED screen with nice color, nice blacks, and then yet you're reverting back to retro screen.
You're
type.
assuming I have the new Switch with the OLED screen. I have the original, and it looks like garbage. So I think I want to play the original Ray. I don't know if it's the original actually. I
I've got Tetris going on this video, the old school Tetris, the original
want to
one.
play Rayman on my Switch. The Game Boy Advance Rayman is what I grew up playing. I want to play that on my Switch now. I didn't know this was a thing, by the way. So you just told me. That's great.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, there are certain things that I quite enjoyed playing on there, but it's just, I don't know.
Is it a full library? What is it?
No. So what they currently do with the NC4 is every month they release a new game, and then it just adds as part of your collection. So it's definitely interesting. I definitely played the old school Mario Kart, which is showing here. I mean that was good. But no, if you're missing the old school type of games that you used to play, then yeah, you could do it on your Switch. It's coming more of an emulator than it is anything else, to be honest. This Nintendo console.
I
But
think
then
it's great.
again, I don't. To be honest, I'm on and off it, but I don't really touch it as much. I mean,
That's
how
the
about you guys? I mean, how often do you touch your Switch?
never. I think it's got to be. This must be a new business model from Nintendo. I think they're being forced into this corner because, I mean, I don't hear much. There isn't enough. There's not enough. I feel like recent exclusives on the Switch to pull people to it, like there was when it, when it
Yeah.
console initially released. The first few years of its release, I think it's kind of a dying console slowly, and I think they're trying to claw it back a little bit with this, which I think is a good move.
I think it's about time they moved on to the next gen. I was telling Snoop the other day about Bayonetta. That's the latest from Nintendo, really, other than Pokemon. Great game, always been a great series, but the Switch is really showing its age, and maybe that's another reason they're trying to like give you these half measures for games, like give you the old stuff and package it up real nice and say, hey, look at this, while they work in the background to get something new out. But
Yeah,
who
would be
knows?
good to see a new
But
Nintendo.
then something new will not be. I don't think they'll go to a handheld. I just don't
Really?
see. Yeah, I think they need to come back into the portrait and bring something into the living rooms because they've lost that, haven't they? They've lost that living room space.
The last thing was the Wii U, wasn't it? And that was a good console. I never owned one, but I heard, there's a lot of positive things about the Wii U.
Yeah, it was, but I think the whole brand of the Wii died because the Wii was all about, movement and stuff. And I think they need to go back to what it was before, like they had with the N64 and the GameCube, in my
I
view.
I would love to see that. I would love to see a fully fledged Nintendo console. No compromises on handheld or gyro. Was it called gyro?
Gyroscope, yeah, or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
all
don't know.
that gyro control nonsense. I've never used it. I never will. I don't think anyone uses that. Name me one person that plays Mario Kart on their Switch with gyro. Nobody. Nobody does that. No, you
I do.
don't. Jared. No,
Yes,
you
I
don't.
do.
No, you
Yes, I
do
do.
not. Then you don't want to win. It's as simple as that. You're not
It's
competitive.
because I play with my sisters and they suck. So I need to give myself a disadvantage, and that's the best one I can find. And I'm still pretty decent with it.
Okay. Okay. You're the first person ever, and you're the only
Well,
person.
wait. I'm gonna throw in something. It's Heavy Rain used gyro on the
It,
PS, where you had to shake the
Oh
controller
yeah, goodness me.
and
uh,
stuff. So yeah, so it depends on how it's used.
yeah,
The one thing that I don't get, I'm gonna say, is I never understood the PlayStation speaker out of the controller. That bugs me. I don't want my
correct.
controller to make noises. I'm
Can I give you a
sorry, I'm gonna say it
recommendation?
out there. Yeah,
Can I give you a recommendation for a game?
yeah, yeah.
Transistor, play Transistor on your Sony console, on your PS4, PS5, whatever it is that has a speaker. Hearing the voice and the sword talk to you through the speaker, and like it glows certain colors as well when he's speaking when things are going on. Great experience. It really does. As stupid as it sounds, having a LED and something speaking to you from the speaker is such a good experience. It really just adds like an extra layer to the gameplay. I highly recommend that game because it's a good game anyway, and that experience on the
Yeah,
Sony console is better.
no. Great game, but I'm just saying I don't want my handheld to make noises. I'm sorry, it's a controller. I don't want it to make
It's
beeping noises or clanking noises. It's just pathetic.
it's about the whole experience, Snoop.
It takes me
Immerse
out.
And then what's the
yourself.
point? No, hang on. But what's the point of having a surround sound speaker system at that rate? Do you know what I mean? Like, forget it. Don't give me that nonsense.
This is
Okay,
closer to you.
okay.
Okay,
No. Oh, forget it. Away from this all. I thought you said, Jabbed, that Netflix had done a U-turn on their password sharing, but
Oh,
apparently they
mhm.
haven't. What's going on? What is going on with Netflix? Explain.
What happened is Netflix lied. Okay. They said, hey, don't worry, guys, that password sharing crackdown, that was a lie. That's a leaked document. And I saw yesterday as well that Canadians suddenly started getting that exact same thing. And they got instructions on how to set a primary device and how to best practice Netflix in their homes. I may have to cancel that subscription after all. That's what it is.
Ben, I'm gonna get rid of mine. I'm gonna be honest. The amount of rubbish that is on there now, I've just given up on it. I go onto it and I think there's nothing I want to watch.
After I finish I think that's it. That might be it. Just get rid of it.
Ben, you'll be using Netflix.
I personally don't care about the password sharing thing because I don't share a password. I don't care. I don't like I get the moral. Okay, I understand the viewpoint of the average counselor, right? But I mean, you kind of shouldn't be sharing just because you could do it all this time and you can share passwords of all these different services and whatnot. Doesn't necessarily mean you should be allowed to. I get it. I get it. You pay for the service, you should be able to use it wherever, or, you know, I'll give it to who I understand that if you pay for it, you pay for it. They're not, I'm sure Netflix aren't hard off on money. So that's not why they're doing it. This must be some weird decision from the top to I don't listen.
Well, they are hard off for money because they had loads of people leave them after COVID, and they've been hit hard after that. They had to cancel shows, so they need to claw back money
Canceling
somehow.
shows is just part of everyday life in at Netflix HQ. Canceling shows, that's just what they do. They start shows and cancel them.
They cancel the wrong ones though. That's the issue. They cancel the ones I like.
Yeah, they cancel. Yeah, exactly, and then do another
Big Mouth.
a real life, yeah, Big Mouth, or you know, true to life or real life anime adaptation that's awful. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It won't affect me personally. That's not to say that I don't care about it, even though I did say I don't care earlier. But it just won't affect me, so I don't have such a strong opinion on it, I guess. Yeah, I see both.
Well, I just want to get rid of it because there's nothing on there, not because of the password thing. Right, Chat GPT. It's all the big rage. Obviously, we mentioned this in the last one. Alibaba Group is now joining into the whole thing. The Chinese megacorp is going to make their rivals to Chat GPT. Views, takes on. I mean, okay. Have you used Chat GPT?
Yeah, extensively. Yeah, quite a lot actually.
Oh, okay. What do you think of it?
It's amazing. Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, it's not. Am I right? It's not the first of its kind. It's kind of the one that's most publicly available, done really well version of a chatbot kind of thing. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, of course, there's so many different things you can use it for, good and bad, as we kind of mentioned earlier. I just it's this cog. It's this this I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but something gets
wait. You can use Chat GPT for that. Find out that word.
Yeah,
There we go.
about the word I could. But yeah, every company gets excited when they see something get so much publicity, then they jump on it and then it gets forgotten about, and then yeah, it's just the circle of life.
I don't think Chat GPT is going to be forgotten about, especially after the announcement that Microsoft have made.
No, not Chat
putting
GPT
it into Bing.
Not Chat GPT specifically. The idea of that every company's going to generate their own version of Chat GPT, and at the end of the day, look what happened to Vimeo. Look what happened to what was that other version of Twitch. I can't even remember the name. Mixer. I don't know. Yeah, just you see my point. Twitch still stands at the top. There are other video platforms. YouTube's still number one. You know, TikTok is up there. There's all these different. Just creating a new version of something with big money and backing behind it doesn't mean it's going to be successful. And it's just
right.
Yeah, every company seems to believe that is the case for some reason. I don't know.
Okay. But talking about this whole thing, Javid, you want to go talk about Google Bard?
Google Bard.
What kind of a name is that, Bard? Anyway,
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
It doesn't seem very googly, does it? You'd think they'd find something that just fits a bit better. Maybe something that starts with a G.
Look, look. Google Bard. All I'm going to say is, will this go onto Google's list of cancelled bloody products after the Stadia? Honestly, but it's not a good start for them. Do you want to go into that, Javid? Because you shared this over Discord.
Yeah. So, the first article that we've got here is about it spouting misinformation during its Twitter debut, saying something about the James Webb Telescope taking the first picture of an exoplanet. Don't really know what an exoplanet is, but I would assume magical AI would know and have all the information about it, but obviously didn't go too well with its launch.
No, it gave the wrong information. It wasn't the first one. It was done by something else, apparently.
It's still a baby. You know, people make mistakes. AI make mistakes. That's how this works, right?
Yeah, but you don't sell your thing like we're going to challenge this by doing, beat Chat GPT, and then yet Chat GPT gives you the right answer and this gives you the
Chat
wrong answer. I mean,
GPT
that's
can be wrong though. Not as wrong as
no,
Bard. I'll give you
no.
that.
I'm not saying it's accurate, but what I'm saying is
Mm.
you don't kick off with something that's inaccurate to the world. I mean, they lost 7% of their shares just by doing that.
This reminds me of when Tesla had their car reveal and they wanted to show off how bulletproof and shatterproof their glass is, and the first thing it does is shatter. So I think it's just the curse of showing anything off live. It just is bound to go wrong.
I will always remember the days when what was it? It was Microsoft 95 or 98, and they were demoing it to live people, and it blue screened in front of everybody. Oh man, I'm gonna find the video of that. That was hilarious. Loved it. Brilliant. Okay, so Zoom laying off jobs. I mean, this is happening. Last week it was Dell, now it's Zoom. 1,300 jobs. Oh man, this whole hybrid boom is about to have a big hit now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nothing new. I mean, you've seen it in the last few weeks. So many companies, or tech companies specifically, having layoffs. I think, it's not great for the people who are laid off for sure. But to put it in perspective, you need to kind of look at the amount of total employees, what kind of employees are being laid off, for what reason. Articles like to just say, big tech company lays off X amount of, but there's normally a lot more to it than that. I'm not some executive for Zoom spokesperson, but there is normally a lot more to it than that. So it's worth reading before you start trembling in your boots for your tech job. Don't worry. What I'd say.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think they have to streamline, don't they? I mean, things have gone the other way around. It'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting. By the way, I didn't know VMware is 25 years old today. Did you know that?
Did not.
Not that it really matters, but hey, let's see what happens. We're nearing the end of this podcast. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything you're excited about? I don't know if you watched the Super Bowl. Are you gonna watch the Super Bowl? Like, what have you got planned for this week ahead?
You know what we have planned, Snoop.
Yeah, silly question.
Okay, oh my days. This Hogwarts game. Like, honestly, why? Why? What is wrong with
It's
you
the
people?
first Harry Potter game in a long time that looks good. And
Oh, shut up. Don't you dare say that
gen.
to me. Don't you dare say I worked on the original ones. If you're saying if the ones that I worked on wasn't good enough,
I mean, would you play them now? The original games?
mate, I wouldn't play any
Yes,
Harry Potter games now. It's horrible.
exactly.
I tried 5 minutes of Hogwarts and thought that's just as bad.
Next gen Harry Potter. That's what I need to know. So I need to know. Sign me up. I'm there. That's my
I'm
weekend.
not even that big of a fan. It's just magic. You're in a school and you can shoot laser beams out of a wand. What else do you want in life?
Agreed.
Well, Jabbed, you can't talk because you don't play Last of Us. Great TV show,
Okay.
great game. You
Okay.
have no right to talk about video games on this channel and saying this is
I'm
good.
convinced you just buy games and just collect them digitally.
Don't we all?
Who, me?
No, Jabed. I don't think he
Jabbed,
plays
oh
them.
yeah, no. I'm sure if I go through his library on Steam, it'll be like untouched, unplayed. 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there.
How accurate you guys are right now really hurts my feelings.
Have you actually completed the game, Jabbed?
I think 2003 was the last time I finished the game. It's been a while
So
since.
bad.
That's
so
Flappy
bad. Oh dear. But yeah, I mean, this week has been kind of more silent than the other weeks in terms of text. I think a lot of the focus has been on Chat GPT and all of that. But no, thank you for your time, guys. And I want to say thank you to the listeners out there listening to the podcast. Thank you. And we'll definitely come back next week with hopefully more exciting tech news that isn't about AI or hacking or stuff. But unfortunately, I think that's 2023 has started off on a very
Mm.
negative trend in terms of compromisations, and then obviously AI that's going to take over our brains. But hey, still good. And no, I just want to say thank you. So have a good one, and I guess I'll chat to you with the rest of the gang soon. Bye.
See ya.